Now place the soles of the feet together. And the hands are on the knees. So make sure that you have 100% attention in both hands. Now push down the knees at the same time and hold. Never fight in a Kum Nye posture. You push, and then in that position you release. You don't go back up, you push, and now okay. Breathing lightly. Nothing serious, you're not going to war. So the back is straight, which is the spine. The spine should be silk. Now release and very elegantly let the legs go back into the 7 gestures. Together, same time moving. So the hands are soft, tender. Your hands are tender. If we are relaxed, we are tender people. Eyes are above the horizon slightly and gaze. So in the beginning you notice that one of the eyes is better at it than the other. So you can stay in it because it will come, or you can do some exercises with the eyes before. The eyes are not going out. We did that the first book. They don't go out. Panoramic gaze, so that eventually the physical and invisible energies of space, and you begin to interact. It's not just that they come in. And almost without you doing, the legs take on the position again with the soles against one another. Let it be light, like water, like feather. An open mind is a soft mind. An open mind is a light mind. So everything you do, let it be light. Lightly pushing down. You're not trying to awaken feelings in the body. They're already there. What you're really doing is you're activating the vibrations of the base of the spine chakra so that they can interact with that level and intensity of vibrations in space. It's a little bit like an orchestra. You know, orchestra doesn't only have violins. Let's say those are thoughts. They have also piccolo and oboe up. They have the viola gamba, the cello, the bass, the drums. That's the lower body. So if you awaken the lower body, they will be able to interact with that vibration in space. The goal is not to awaken lower body energy. We did that. It's to be able to sense that kind of energy in one space. Keep the sense of spaciousness while the legs go back. So what is the change? On the one hand, there should not be a change when you move the legs back. By being in the 7 gestures, you stabilize this lower rhythm interacting with space. So all physical objects and invisible energies that have a very low tone will be able to be picked up because you are opened up that connection between your body and the energies in space, internally and externally. So now you're going to do it one more time to really get to the depth of this tone. It's not a bass, but let's say in the orchestra it is like a bass, like a cello, like a deep horn. So internally there's a circulation going on from the first book. So the body, your embodiment, will pick up what the lower body is interacting with space. So your eyes begin to see that level of interaction. Your ears will hear that deep level of interaction. You will feel. And you will know. You will know what is contained in that deep timbre. Push a little deeper. As if nothing changes, you bring your legs back to the 7 gestures. Now the whole embodiment will interact, will embody what the lower base contact is telling you. If you think that space is empty, this will change you. Space is not empty. But even the objects. Some will respond to your eyes, some to your heart, some to your body. And some are very, very deep. Like in this room, we have Rinpoche's teachers. We have pictures we can show you later. Where they are coming from, the depth of where they come from, might become more accessible if your lower body, the base, is actively interacting with the picture. You don't need to think about it because your whole body will do all levels of communication. So what do you do now? You don't look for a location and bring the breath there. We did that. Has your experience of the surrounding space been impacted is the space around you a little bit more alive. Then just feel that, see that, hear that. Love that interaction, that change, love that what you feel. We're moving on to the next exercise, exercise 3. The premise, the assumption is that your mind is in the body. That's book 1. Mind is in the body. So if you have thoughts, which is very normal, go back to send that thoughts into the body. That what thinks, bring it into the body. Being in the posture, and then pay attention to your experience in one space, inside, outside. No location anymore. So exercise 3 is the knees are up, the feet flat on the floor. They are not against one another. There's some space between the knees, and the palms are on the knees. The fingers all pointing the same direction. The feet stay flat on the floor, the eyes above the horizon. You don't need to move your head. Relax. Yeah, good. Relax. You don't need to move your head when you look above the horizon. Just your eyes. The chin is always a little in. Relax. Relax. Yeah, good. So the hands are precious. All fingers that you have, you feel them. There's always a little bit space between the fingers. They have their own interaction with space. Now can you open the knees a little bit to the side, wide, as if you push them a little bit out. Don't change your hands. Same time. And bring them back. Now continue. So going back and then out again. Ideally, you know from the first book, there's no change from one way to the other. It's a continuous flow. Breathing lightly. So the resource of the lowest part of the body is now integrated in the whole body, freeing the energy of the base of the spine. The capacities that each part of the body has, which is energy and knowledge, is now beginning to go upward. From the first book you know that it should move by itself. And gradually, maybe not yet, you will feel the legs and the hands moving through space. Don't worry about feeling the movement. They move through space as if there is a texture around the hands and the knees. As if space is full and you feel you move through a field of grass or a field of water. As if you're moving through rose petals. Now change a little bit, a little faster, a little slower, because our body has many frequencies. Slow is not better. Slow is only better in the first book because we go so fast all day long. So all the register of all frequencies you want to cover. Now abruptly stop wherever you are. Don't move, don't move. Do you feel ripples? Although your legs are still, is there some rippling going on inside and outside? One space ripples? That's it. We're trying to create the ripples because the energies is communicated through waves. Now, whatever wave you experience, if any, move in that same rhythm. If you don't experience waves, then move gently, lightly, playfully. The joy of being, the mind becomes playful as we were as kids. And without any big transition, come to a stop while the feelings continue to flow in space. We're just activating its natural flowing rhythm through the body. Lightly, playfully go into the 7 gestures. So inside and outside is one space. Can you touch any experience of this one space? Maybe it is silent. Maybe it is still. It will become full with flowing rhythms. Eventually you can see the invisible realm. You can see the dimensions of the physical realm. As they interact with you back and forth. Energy meets energy. 1 minute? All right. Why don't you get up? So when you got up, did you have a thought? Ideally, when you get up, you feel your body moving through space. Always enjoy of being. I don't know how to make that more palpable, tangible. Right? The uncle of Donald Duck, Uncle Scrooge, when he's in the bathtub, he's full of money. And he goes under the coins, and when he comes up, he moves up through the coins, right? The gold pieces. So that's not a nice image maybe, but as if you are sitting in a field of rose petals everywhere around you. So it's not empty, but in front and the back, and everywhere. Water could be one, but that's more the first book. Feel as if there's rose petals. And so when you get up, you're moving through the rose petals. You want to feel that. So don't get up thinking of something. Always your connection with space. Now I'm going to test you again. Move the arms forward until they're straight in front of you. Very good. At home, did you feel the space your arms were moving through, your fingertips? So when we go into the position, don't start from this position. Start when the body moves up, when the hands begin from the legs and they go forward and up. The area that we are not aware of will attract dead weight. Negativity, or whatever you should do, you have said that you would do and you're not doing, that energy becomes dead weight. And it will live in the areas where you're not aware. That's why it's so hard to get up, so hard to start, because dead weight is space where there's no awareness. So if you bring light to that space by feeling the fingertips, feeling space, the dead weight will change. You become lighter. Procrastination less, ready. All right, now very subtle movements. We are in exercise 7. Just the arms move up. Not yet. The finger, your eyes are a little bit above the fingertips, above the horizon. So as the arms move up, your eyes move just above 5 centimeters, 2-3 inches above the fingertips, going up. About halfway, 45 degrees. So now go back, because I talk too much. Do it again, but before you do it, feel the fingertips moving through the texture of space as if they touch all the rose petals. Very good. Now go back one more time, and we are doing almost perfect joy of being. Go back, feeling the fingertips, feeling the texture of space. So the fingertips are sensors. Now we add the eyes. So your eyes experience their space that they're moving through. So the fingertips and the eyes experience the space they're moving through without gaps, no hiatus. Hiatus. Very good. That's joy of being exercise. It's called opening the flow. So now the chest is up. Arms are straight, unless you are handicapped a little bit in the arms. Straight arms. Beautiful fingertips. Each one their own sensory capacities. The eyes are not going into space, they are touching. Space and eyes begin to interact. Now in a moment we're going forward and down. Explore space at least with the fingertips and ideally with the eyes. So go forward and down, fingertips touching the texture of space. The eyes interacting with the texture of space. The legs are straight but not locked. Keep going. Bending forward, and eventually let the arms hang and the head hang loosely down. The obstacles from the first book are still the same. The mind wants to know what's next, the body wants to sit down. But with doing a little bit first Kum Nye book, you don't want that. You're exploring. You're exploring your own mind space. Can you go further forward and down? You don't need to touch the ground, but if you do, go further down and down with your hands on the ground. You don't need to. Just how far you naturally go, and then a little further. How long should you stand like this? Until energies start flowing through the body and beyond. So stay in the body and the space you're in. Whenever you think, this flow will stop. So if you get impatient, that's a lovely feeling if you go to the feeling of it. It begins to flow and your mind says, oh, I'm impatient, I want to go back. No. Appreciate every ingredient of your experience, not the thoughts that are projected habitually. Now slowly come up by straightening the lower back first. Your arms remain down. The body moves toward upright. Flowing feelings is what we're looking for. Opening the flow. Arms remain down. And then stand very, very still. Not by holding still, but by being still. Let's do it again. Sense the fingers going through space upward. So the fingertips sense the space they're moving through, like sensors. If you can, already further the energy a little bit beyond the fingertips. The lower space is critical because that's where dead weight tends to accumulate. But because of the first two exercises, there's much less likelihood of dead weight in the lower region. Then going up about 45 degrees, sensing, it's so different the space there than below the waist. Now bend, a little bit backwards, arch backwards. The eyes are about 5 centimeters, 2 inches, 3 inches above the fingertips. Now look deep into space without wanting to see something. You're just extending your capacity to see. So you can interact with the physical energies and the invisible energies. Experience comes later. We're creating the pathways, the openings. We're awakening our sense of space. First around the body and then beyond. All your kum. When you're ready, come forward and very interested, playfully interested, explore space. Move the arms a little bit more apart, so not the same trajectory. Going forward and down. The bending is in the waist area. Every centimeter, inch you go through is different. Not one space is the same as another. As if space is made up of particles that you touch and interact with. Let the head hang down, loose. How long? Until you feel beginnings of opening of the flows, any flows. Try to begin a relationship with the title. You and opening the flow. That's it. It's your partner, opening the flow. You're in the arms of opening the flow. Opening the flow is the experience, not your interpretation or understanding. Coming up, the fingers and the eyes interact with every particle of space you're moving through. The arms go down, huh? Arms stay down. But they move. They stay down. And the head is up. Very still, not by holding still, but by being still. Internal, external space is all one. Being still. Now, final time on your own. Gently instruct yourself with a loving, playful, curious mind. No judging at all, playful, light, but very much with it. Interacting with space through the body, fingers and eyes. If you have not, start coming up. Just a moment very still, not by holding still, but by being still. Some languages may not have the word still, stillness, and they translate with motionless. That's not really correct. If you have to have another word, silence is better. The body is silenced not by making yourself silent, but by everything, space and you being silent, even if there's noise. The best word is stillness. But if you don't have that word, make it silence, not motionless. Because later on we're going to move in stillness. Connecting feeling. This is something to become better at in this one. So, the arms, not yet, the arms go up sideways, but your sensors are in your fingertips. So you look above the horizon, gaze 230 degrees, and now let the arms start to go up. All you do is sensing the space on both sides. It's miraculous how you can sense more than one location. One awareness can sense in more than one location, in more than one time. Sensing both directions. One arm will be better, one hand will be better than the other. But the potential is in the dormant one. So eventually you can learn that on his left hand he is sensing very different than in his right hand. You can see that, you can learn to see, which is helpful when you interact with people. So the arms are straight, huh? Yeah, good. Right, a little lower. Yeah, that's left a millimeter higher. Yeah, very good. Little space between the fingers. Now we're going to do many things at once. Turn your head towards the left fingers. Turn the hand to the left fingers. Now move the left hand back and the right hand forward, but sense both hands. And now your eyes, so it's many aspects. If it's too much, stay with your fingertips sensing the texture of space. Very different, sideways or back and forth. So the left hand goes all the way back and the right goes all the way forward. And your head looks back. So do you notice there are two parts? It's the hands, both hands moving through space, and the eyes. You'll see that you jump with the eyes. Those are called gaps. Gaps in awareness. That becomes a blind spot. Negativity will find a home there. So coming back to the center, feel both hands and the eyes moving through space. It's a lot, so otherwise take one hand if it's too much. Stop at the center, and by then your head should be forward. Keep going with the head, exploring space like a curious child. First time in Disneyland or the Efteling in Holland. Then the head continues to the other side. Don't move the arms. Take in space that your eyes are moving through, as if you're looking at the pixels of a Van Gogh painting. When the head is at the right, then move the right hand back, the left forward. Feel the space on both hands if you can. And if you can't, feel the space that your eyes move through. Every inch is different. When you're all the way back, come back a little higher or lower. Don't go the same trajectory. A little higher or lower. Fingertips. And if you can, the eyes. It's a double whammy, you say in English. Double impact. Hands and eyes. Eyes see different than what the fingers feel. When you're in the middle, the head continues, exploring space. Go a little higher than before, or a little lower. Go to the other side, and then when your head is on the other side, move back. Don't forget the arm that's forward. Very good. I don't know you at home, but here, very good. Don't drop one arm, they stay straight, and then both a little up or both a little down. Coming back when you have been back. When you're in the original position, your head continues to forward. Whoa, one more instruction. Light breathing, light, light, oh so light. Going to the other side. The chin is not up. Going to the other side. So you can build up. You can first do one hand, then both hands. Light breathing. Then the eyes coming back. When you're in the center, the head continues. Go a little bit lower or higher, exploring as if a kid is watching in Disneyland. Everything is new. To the other side, last time. It's no problem if it's too long for you. You gently go down and you wait till you can go again. And then become a little fitter. We want to have fitness when you do Kum Nye. Physical fitness. Coming back. Then the arms wait for the head to move a little lower than before. As if every little inch has a treasure. Going to the other side for the last time. Connecting feeling of the fingers, feeling of the eyes, a little higher, a little lower, all connecting until there's a tapestry of feeling experience. Come back to the center, and this is probably the last time, so then the arms flow down, feeling the space, sensing the texture of space, always, always. Until it becomes automatically. It will not only nurture you, it will inspire you. awaken you. That's the second book. As if you're sitting down in a world of rose petals or high grass, and you go down, you sit down, and you feel all the movement down is an experience. Sitting down, and then being still. Joy, the joy of being is about being still, not motionless. There's breathing, very light, maybe almost no breathing, so light. Butterfly breaths through nose and mouth. You don't need to say what you feel, experience what you feel. Eventually, you should know what you're supposed to feel, which is light feeling tones. Maybe not today. Light feeling tones. Happy feeling tones. As if the energy is a little bit dancing. There's no inside and outside. It's one space. This experience will support pleasant interactions with others. Consistently.